What's going on, guys? Today I want to talk about how you can have cash flow and appreciation. So, for those of you who start off in single family investing, it's either cash flow or appreciation. But with multifamily, so what does that mean? So, it's apartment complexes, mobile home parks, anything with a commercial loan, you can have cash flow and appreciation. So, let me kind of run you through a story here. So with single family homes, when I started investing in single family homes in California, the average home price in the Bay Area where I grew up is about $1 million. And the most that you can probably rent that thing out or that house out for is around, 4 to 5 thousand, depending on the market and the time. And at best, that's breaking even. And that's breaking even, not including any maintenance, vacancy, and property management. So actually, you're slightly negative, right, in terms of cash flow. But the appreciation has been amazing. Where over the past 5 years, some of my single family homes that I purchased went up by $500,000 or half a million. But obviously now during the recession, it is going down a bit. So maybe it's up 300,000 instead of half a million, like it was a couple months ago. So so if you invest in single family homes in California, you only get appreciation. On the flip side, I own a single family home in Alabama, and there it's mostly cash flow. So I bought a brand new build, uh, 4 bedroom, 3 bath home, built brand new from a developer, and I bought it for $260,000, and it rents for $2,100 a month. And I'm actually cash flowing about $700 a month on that property. We just recently raised rents on the tenant after a year, so now I'm cash flowing about $800 a month on that property. But I've owned it for about almost 2 years now, and it appreciated from 270,000 up to maybe about 300,000. So that's maybe about $30,000 worth of appreciation, which is nice, but it's nothing compared to California, right? So I was getting $700 a month, but less appreciation. So with single family homes, I'm kind of picking between, okay, do I want a cash flow market or do I want appreciation market? And when I started off, I had a little bit of both, right? I had appreciation from California, and now I'm trying to get cash flow from like Alabama, Oklahoma. But once I learned about multifamily and apartment complexes, it completely blew my mind and shifted my mindset completely. And let me share you kind of a story why. So with single family homes, the value is based on the sales comps, right? So if my neighbor's house, that's a single family home, sells for $1 million, and my house is exactly the same as his house, and it's right next door to him, my house is going to sell for $1 million, right? And let's just say they're both rental properties, and one single family home rents for 5,000 a month, and the mine rents for 10,000 a month. But when we sell it, they're both worth a million, right? So for single family homes, it doesn't matter how much rent you get. It's just based on how much the average home will sell in that neighborhood, right? So that's why it's based on the sales comps. But with apartment complexes and multifamily, so when I say multifamily, I'm referring to 5 or more units. The value is based on the net operating income. So that's income minus expenses. And in expenses, you don't include any debt service. And you divide that by the market cap rate, right? And that's how you find the value of your apartment complex. So as you increase your rents, you will increase the net operating income, which will increase the value of your apartment complex. So let's take a step back to that previous example. So let's just say my neighbor's apartment complex that has 20 units gets 10,000 a month in rent, and my apartment complex, which is a 20-unit apartment complex right next door, gets $20,000 a month in rent. When I go to sell my apartment complex, mine's gonna be worth double what my neighbor's apartment complex is, because it's based solely on the cash flow. So this just changed my mind completely. Once I learned this concept, I never want to buy a single family home ever again, except for my primary residence down the road. But once you know this concept, you realize that as you have more cash flow, your appreciation, the value goes up. So it's forced appreciation, right? So let me give a real life example of my 26 unit. So my 26 unit apartment complex, I got it for $500,000 off market using my direct mailing campaign. The owner reached out to me directly, and I was able to negotiate the price based on the tax assessed record. And then after that, when I closed on the loan, they actually appraised at $750,000, and as is, with my rents, my gross rents being at around $10,000 a month. But when kind of doing the rental comparables and asking my property manager, who's in Oklahoma, basically I was charging $450 all bills paid from the prior landlord. So all bills paid means that I'm covering the electricity, the gas, the water, the sewer. Typically, landlords just cover the water and the trash. But here I was covering all of it. So effectively, after I paid all those utilities, I was netting maybe about 350 that actually went towards rent, right? But then when kind of doing analysis with my property manager, we sat down and said, look, if we renovate these units with about $8,000, so new kitchen, new countertops, new LVP flooring, a fresh coat of paint, a new bathtub kit, a new bathroom vanity, the whole works, right? We can raise the rents from 450 all bills paid. So remember that's about 350 net to about $700 on average. So that's double your rents, right? So if I am able to do the renovation and double the rents, so in the beginning it's $10,000 a month, but if I double the rent to $20,000 a month, well, what happens to the value of my 26 unit? If I double the rents of all 26 units, now it's going to be worth $1.5 million. So I bought it for half a million. So I bought it under market. It appraised at 750 day one, and that's at $10,000 a month rent. But once I double the rent to $20,000 a month, I'm gonna have a lot of cash flow. Right? I'm definitely gonna be cash flow positive. But on top of that, the value is gonna be worth 1.5 million, which is double. So if I do a cash out refi, it's gonna lower my cash flow. But I can pull out my initial down payment, all my renovation cost, and a little bit extra money to go buy another apartment complex and maybe still have a little bit decent of a cash flow because I still have to maintain that debt service coverage ratio greater than 1.25. So that's where you can have your cash flow and forced depreciation. It's like having your cake and eating it too. So, a lot of people I know, they invest in single family, duplex, triplex, fourplex. Honestly, if you just move it from a fourplex to a fiveplex, that's when you have that valuation based on the net operating income divided by the market cap rate. And that's when you can have cash flow and appreciation. So it's a slightly minor tweak in what you're doing. And like I said, it can be very intimidating. Like I was definitely intimidated. I never thought I could own apartment complexes, and now I own, two apartment complexes in mobile home park, and it's all we know, right? Single family is all we know. We either grew up in one, lived in one growing up. Maybe our parents own a couple of single family home rentals, but like only the really, really rich people own apartment complexes. So I thought it was unattainable for me personally. But after just kind of surrounding myself around the right group and seeing that was possible, I got inspired and quickly, closed on my first couple apartment complexes. And that's kind of my goal with this channel, as well as my Making Multifamily course that is actually now live. So you can check the link in the description down below. But at a high level, it's an A to Z system on how to get your first off market apartment complex by going direct to owner and learning how to underwrite the apartment complex, how to choose your market, how to do sales comparables or rent comparables, how to do renovation, how to interview your property manager, how to interview your general contractor. I have contracts in the course. I have interview questionnaires, underwriting calculators, basically everything that you need from A through Z in order to make you successful. But not only that, it just gives you access to a community of like-minded individuals where you're seeing everybody closing on deals, and it's just very inspirational. It was definitely inspirational for me. And actually, one of my students who just joined the course and mentorship a month ago, she closed on her first 35 unit apartment complex in Mississippi, and she got it for around $750,000, right? And I was just blown away when I saw the numbers on that deal. I think day one, even with a hard money loan to close on the deal fast, she's still cash flowing about 5% cash and cash day one, and the rent still potential to go up. And there's a wait list of tenants wanting to go in. So I imagine, she definitely bought the 35 unit under market value. So when she does her cash out refi, she's probably gonna pull out all her down payment, whatever renovation cost you put in, and then pay me a little bit extra to go buy another apartment complex, right? And what kind of helped her was just following a proven path that I laid out for her, as well as just being inspired to know that, it is possible. And, she saw me do it and now she's doing it. And I hope for other students to take the course and do the same thing as well. So, like I said, once again, check out the link down below, or you can send me a message or leave a comment if you have any questions. I check those pretty frequently. But overall, hope you found value in this video. Please like and subscribe, and hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.